This is the Big Bad Boot.
We're siblings who explore spooky and scary stories, urban legends, tall tales, and true crime, all located in this crazy state that's shaped like a boot. A podcast about the weird state you wish you were from.
Hosted by the weird siblings you wish you had.
Today's episode is supported by Milk and Honey, the beauty bar. Milk and Honey offers a perfect blend of relaxation and vibrant social energy. Oh. Whether you're looking to unwind by yourself or enjoy a chat with friends, they provide expert beauty services that leave you feeling pampered. From brows and lashes to skincare and makeup applications, Erica and her team can take care of it all. Hi, Erica. At Milk and Honey, they prioritize a personalized experience just for you. Ready to invest in yourself? Book a customized service today through Instagram or Square, or you can schedule a free consultation to chat about your needs. Visit them on Instagram and Facebook to discover more. Milk and Honey, the beauty bar. Unlock your most beautiful self. I got moles.
That's true.
There's a questionable one on my calf that I have to go back and get a look at.
A mole or a wart?
No, like a freckle.
Okay, so okay.
Yeah, I don't have warts. Don't say on record that I have warts.
Right here, I got this one because of tennis.
Ew.
Yeah.
What's wrong with our skin, dude?
I don't know. Remember that corn I had on my toe from tennis that time? It was wild. When I had it removed, the hole that corn was in was like that deep. It was disgusting. This episode brought to you by corn. It's corn.
It's corn. I love that little kid.
Me too.
What's he doing now, I wonder? He's got to be a couple years older at this point.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait, are we good? Oh, okay. Well, hey, guys.
Hi.
Welcome to the Big Bad Boot.
A podcast about the weird state you wish you were from.
Hosted by the weird siblings you wish you had.
What's been going on, buddy?
Nothing much. Actually, I've been super busy lately between this.
You're practically bedeviled with meetings, etc.
This, tennis, work, and then I had that hospice gala this weekend, which was a blast.
It was fun.
It was awesome. And I looked amazing.
You looked very nice dressed up. You look good in a suit, buddy.
I was, in the words of Nicki Minaj, feeling myself.
Mm-hmm.
That night, man.
I always wait for you to post stupid captions under your pictures so I can go in and completely degrade you.
I love it. You didn't that time.
No, I didn't.
I look so good. I cheat with myself. That was my caption this time.
And how do you feel when you post stupid captions like that?
People love it.
Do you feel good about yourself?
Yeah. My age group, my age bracket, grandma, they love it. They eat it up.
I'm so glad for you.
Because I just don't want to be like, Gala 2024. Like,
you got to come up with something clever.
Yeah. Oh, if I hear a song lyric, I'm like, hey Siri, add this to my notes.
Speaking of something to add to your notes, we got an email from somebody.
Okay.
And I want to read it because they signed off this email that I want us to adopt into a Big Bad Boot catchphrase and t-shirt.
Okay.
The way that they signed their email off, but I'm going to read it.
All right.
So this is an email from Landon Stevens.
Okay.
And if you want to email us, just send any kind of love or whatever to thebigbadboot@gmail.com. Landon says, hey, y'all. Louisiana and LSU, born, raised, and graduated Marine who loves history. Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service, Landon.
I can still hear my 8th grade Louisiana history teacher talk about all the intricacies of and great stories of the boot from the Kingfish to the levees.
Nice.
Thanks for starting this podcast and helping a redneck Cajun fight the homesickness blues. I might cry.
Oh.
Your stories and accents bring back great memories of my weird but beloved home.
Oh.
For recommendations for history and story topics for your show, the following.
The following? Mm-hmm. Landon is coming out with it. All right.
Number 1, the Higgins boat, a.k.a. the boat that won World War II, built in New Orleans.
Nice. Okay.
One of the plants is now NASA Michaud Assembly Facility. I hope I pronounced that right. Michoud. 2, the Lake Peigneur incident. I've never heard this before. Lake Peigneur incident. It drained into a salt mine during a drilling accident.
Okay.
What?
We're adding that to the list.
And
Landon's coming out here with bangers.
Landon setting the bar. Number 3, the story of LSU from starting in Pineville, moving down the cannons in front of the military science building donated by General Sherman For the Tiger rifles, Fighting Tiger's military unit, close parentheses, tenacious fighting, which that's where I'm sure tigers came from, the Fighting Tigers.
Nice.
Landon.
It's awesome.
Then this is where he signs off.
Okay.
Keep on smoking and joking. That's it. That's another catchphrase.
Keep on smoking
and joking. Go Tigers, Landon Stevens.
Oh, thanks, Landon. That's how you know you like Louisiana. All people all the time will randomly be like, "All right, y'all have a good day. Go Tigers."
Mm-hmm. It's like a tick.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was emailing us from Maryland.
Whoa, dude, you are far away from the bayou, brother. Wow.
Yeah. Thank you, Landon. That was so nice.
Thanks. We miss you down here, dude.
And thank you for your service.
Yes, absolutely.
Do you have an email?
I do.
Okay.
I do. This is from Jennifer Harper.
Oh, hi. We
our
know
girl.
her.
We love our Harpers.
We call them our cousins. We're technically not related to them, but we say we are.
We're related to one of them very distantly through marriage.
Yeah, so yeah.
Jennifer says, "Hey, Katie and Caleb. First of all, just wanted to let you know how much our family enjoys your podcast. Always entertaining and well-researched. Thanks, Jen.
Thank you.
I just finished listening to your latest episode on Charity Hospital, and wow, I wanted to recommend to y'all to really put a visual with the story to watch the 8-episode series called 5 Days at Memorial on Apple TV.
Do you have Apple TV?
I don't, but mom and dad do.
Well, we're going to have to give me that login.
It's about Memorial Medical Hospital going through Katrina, basically just like Charity.
What's going on?
Man, Kathleen Blanco, bro. Which, I mean, RIP. I recently, after I did that episode, found out she's dead. She's dead. And I was like...
She died?
That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
As a former hospital employee, it just weighed heavily on me when I watched it. My family couldn't even watch it with me after the first couple of episodes. Although it was hard to watch and I did cry, I highly recommend it. And finally, Jeremy and I are headed to Ruston this weekend to visit Abby at LA Tech. While we are there, we are planning to drive about 30 minutes to have lunch at Bonnie and Clyde's Last Stop Cafe. We'll have to let you know how it is. Thanks for putting our... Y'all, I forgot my glasses. Do
you need me to hold
bear
it?
with me. No, I just might have to shut one off.
Okay.
Thanks for putting out great content. Keep up the good work, Jennifer Harper.
Oh, thanks.
And they actually sent us a whole mess of pictures.
We posted them to the socials.
People
loved them on TikTok. It got a lot of engagement on TikTok.
Oh yeah, did you see the jar of toes?
One of my friends messaged me and she said, "Are those his actual toes?" And I'm like, "No, I'm pretty sure his actual toes are somewhere at the prison he was at when he cut them off. I don't think he kept his toes."
I keep forgetting.
At the Bloody Ham.
Still sounds like a dish I want to eat.
That's disgusting.
Man, I haven't had ham in a long time. Like a Christmas ham. Man.
I feel like that's just a very mid-holiday food.
I love it. Like I'm not about the turkey, but let me tell you something. Heath Brunies, Uncle Sherwood, Uncle David, and Papa Kelly all make really good ham.
I want all the ham. Yeah. You remind me of Ron Swanson when he goes into the diner and he's like, "I'll take a number 12. And he's like, "Sir, that's a party platter." And he's like,
"Yeah.
I know what I'm about, son." That's you. I want all the ham. Or you would cut off one slice and then take the rest of it on your plate and leave the one slice.
Like me and Cameron for Thanksgiving, we always joke and call each other like the poison checkers.
Because you eat everything.
When Uncle David starts carving it, I'm like, just make sure it's not. I think me and Cameron eat probably 600 calories on Thanksgiving and Christmas before it's served.
Mm-hmm. The rare who roast beast. That's what I think of. Is him slicing the rare who roast beast at the end of the Grinch.
Man, he gets into it. Uncle David pulls out that
it's like a chainsaw, but for the turkey. And every time they do it, we have 3 of them in our family.
Yeah.
And Dad's on one, Uncle David's on one, Heath's on one. And
then Uncle Sherwood's usually doing something as well.
You hear And we're like, oh, turkey's almost ready.
I can't do it because it does this so much, it'll shake my goozle. So I was like, I don't want to look like fatter than normal.
What is this called?
I call it my goozle.
Your like turkey neck?
Yeah.
Stop.
My goozle.
I'm hoping to get like.
Oh, I've had a consultation already.
What is that called? What is that procedure called to get your goozle fixed?
Mine's straight up liposuction.
Oh.
And I found out you can even after get implants right there to make you have like a super square jaw.
Like the Marvel effect. Like when you want to look like a superhero.
Yeah. Like I'm probably going to splurge for those too one day.
To go from a goozle thumb to
like handsome Squidward.
Like Tom Brady. I think Tom Brady looks like handsome Squidward now.
You can't unsee it. I couldn't tell you what Tom Brady looks like.
He looks like handsome Squidward. I just told you. Go look it up. Like you can literally Google Tom Brady handsome Squidward and it'll pull him up and you're like, I can't unsee it.
Okay, I'm going to have to do that.
Do you know who Tom Brady is?
He played for the Green Bay Mermen.
I
don't know.
Nope.
I know who the Saints are, obviously. It's football?
Yeah, it is football.
Okay.
He's like literally one of the greatest football players of all time. He technically played for two teams. But
the Jets and the
Packers. We're just gonna we'd be here a while. Don't worry about it, buddy.
Okay.
Don't hurt yourself.
I tried. Oh, sport.
I hope both teams have fun.
That's me. I'm just here for a good time because I'm just like, if I'm at like a football game, I could never get it. If it wasn't drag racing, like if it wasn't cars or tennis
or softball,
I could coach softball right now. Jeremy Harper. Look, if I get bored, I might come help you coach. I'm sure softball.
Caleb watched me play a lot of softball over the years.
I love it. But I just sit at football games, and when everyone's like, woo, I'm like, oh, woo.
Oh, I clap now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. Throw that thing in for a home.
Throw that football in for a home run. Goal.
Man, poor me. Okay. Well.
Is this a podcast?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you ready for this one?
I'm ready to be passenger princess. I love it when it's your episode.
Okay. Well, I'm going to be telling you about the mob boss, Carlos Marcello. Well, I say Marcello.
Marcello.
But in the documentary, people either said Marcello or Marcello.
Marcello.
But it was like an older documentary.
Okay.
And one of the old historians was like always bent over in the chair and he was like, and Marcello, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I'm going to trust him.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah. So
I am so excited.
Yeah, I had no idea this was a thing.
The deep desire I've always had to be a mob wife. Like, I would be the best mob wife. I wouldn't say a word. You've seen the movie Goodfellas.
Oh.
My favorite part.
Mom?
Well, between me and Mom, you've seen Goodfellas.
Yeah, that's her favorite movie ever.
My favorite part in that movie is when he's getting dressed for work and his wife says, can I have some money? I want to go shopping. And he says, how much do you need? And she goes, are you kidding me?
That's awesome.
Not how much money do you have? How big of a stack do you need? I'd keep my mouth shut for the right stack of money.
As long as I have like I don't know, maybe a tanning bed and a BMW.
I could keep myself occupied.
Oh, I'll find a way.
Money can buy happiness.
100%.
Yes, it can.
There's actually a study that just got released that said scientifically money can buy you happiness.
I've never been sad on a jet ski.
Me either.
Just
and even if I am sad, I'd rather cry in a BMW than on a city bus. So like, could be worse.
So I am married, but my husband would be willing to negotiate for the right mob person.
So would your brother.
Right. Sorry.
Anywho.
Made it about me.
That's fine. So Carlos Marcello. So let's just dive right in.
Let's do it.
He was born in Northern Africa on February 6th, 1910. And there's a specific place in Africa.
And you have to look up how to say it?
Sure do.
Okay. Caleb's on his phone right now looking up the pronunciation.
Wait.
Oh. Hold.
Tunisia.
Okay.
It's in Northern Africa. So he was born there February 6th, 1910.
Oh, okay. So this is back in the Dizzy.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
He was born to Sicilian immigrants. His father first arrived in Louisiana in 1909 before Carlos was born.
Hmm.
As an illegal immigrant, flash forward a little bit, he worked on his family's farm. And as soon as he was old enough to operate a horse and buggy, he was in charge of bringing their goods to go sell at the New Orleans French market, which was the first time I don't want to say had a run in or got involved with organized crime, but that was the first place he saw it,
Hmm.
apparently.
This is already giving me Godfather Part 2.
Low key. I think that's why it was so easy for me to research.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, because even on the way here, I was like, this is not a long episode for me.
Right.
But I think it's because I did it so quick.
Because you're like,
Because I was like, I love this. This
it's
is
easy to
awesome.
absorb.
Yeah. So in 1928, Carlos moved to a rented apartment in the French Quarter, which at the time was like a breeding ground for criminals.
So he was 18.
Yes.
Okay. So he was still really young.
Oh, for sure. And he started small. Like he did like small little burglaries, like
Mhm.
of stores.
Like Clyde Barrow did when he was stealing
Yes.
his chickens.
Yes. Like he didn't start off like doing this
Racketeering and
giant
yeah.
heist. The next year, however, in 1929, Marcello and 3 accomplices pulled off a bank heist and stole $7,000. And this is a fun game that they always play on My Favorite Murder.
Mhm. Which in today's money, do I get to guess?
So in 1929, $7,000. How much money do you think that is today?
70,000. It's more?
Yeah.
100,000. What? $300,000.
$128,000.
Wow.
That's insane.
Do you how like I'm not encouraging this in any way, but it was really easy to rob a bank back then.
Honestly, yeah.
Like
No cameras.
I see the logic.
I do too. And even like, not condoning this either, but murder. And we're going to get into that too.
Yes.
Like, it's just like, when was DNA started? Like, when was that a thing?
Technically, DNA has always been a thing.
Yes, but like, when did we start using
Like,
it?
regularly everywhere, like the 80s, late 70s, 80s.
Okay, see, the spillway was already there. So I'm like, in my head, I'm like, if I had good reason, hearkening back to your episode,
Mm-hmm. If you needed to get rid of a body, there are ways.
go down the spillway and just
Oops.
right at Rudock.
Yeah. Whoopsie.
Yeah, gators are going to eat it in a second. No body, no arrest.
No body, no crime.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
for legal
also
reasons,
comes into
this
play.
is all a joke.
Yes, for sure.
Carly Gonzalez, if you're listening, for legal reasons, this is all a joke. Carly Gonzalez is my attorney.
I was about to say, we might need to call Carly. And then Ryan can chiropractic and get it. I just spit again.
You spit again. Jonah, we have to get a spit guard.
Well,
Yes.
And I'm not even drinking on this episode.
No, you're drinking water.
That might be why.
what a shame.
I know. I'm just fully.
Salivating all over Jonah's equipment.
It's because we talked about ham.
Yeah.
Anywho.
The rare who roast beast.
Anyway, so once they get the money, him and the accomplices flee to the farmhouse.
Wait, so why did he start stealing stuff? Like, why? Just cuz?
Honestly,
Okay.
I think he saw an opportunity maybe when he first saw organized crime
Mm-hmm.
in New Orleans when he was at the French market. I don't know.
So his parents lived there with him in Louisiana.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
they
They had a
came-
farm.
got it,
But
okay.
he had moved to the French Quarter in
Okay.
his little rented apartment. But after him and those accomplices pull off that bank heist, they flee and go to the Marcello farmhouse. Well, the police catch them.
They're like, we
It's
know
like-
we know where you live because we buy corn from you. or
Exactly.
whatever.
So
Yeah.
they find him. Well, since they were able to recover all the money, the bank didn't even press charges.
Well, that's nice.
I know. I was like, wow. Well, a few months later,
Mm-hmm.
he robs a store and is ratted on by his younger accomplice. He was sentenced to prison for it, but somehow the sentence was commuted.
It's already given Mafia vibes.
Exactly.
It's like, how about we make this go?
Right.
Yeah. Wait, question.
Okay.
How was he robbing these places? Was it with like guns, I'm assuming?
They never said.
Okay.
They never said.
Okay.
I'm assuming,
Right.
like, you don't really, like, rob a bank SpongeBob style where he's like, put the money in the bag. Put it in.
Please.
And has, like, no weapon.
Yeah.
So. Well, shortly after that, Carlos purchased a small bar, which he used as a front for selling marijuana.
Cool.
Right?
Money laundering.
He was, man, we're inching closer and closer to being like hardcore clients of Carly.
I'm sorry. Well, this is not about us. We're not doing any of this.
You're right. He was able to get away with that because he was paying the local mob hood who was responsible for keeping the cops at bay.
Okay, so he was paying some local muscle.
Yeah. So like the local like mob boss of the area,
Yes.
Carlos Marcello, started paying him off to like ward the cops, keep the heat off. I think that's what they call it.
What was the guy's name in The Godfather who was Luca Brasi?
Yes.
Boom. He was the muscle. So he had him. Okay.
But like ready on hand. Through this, he started working for the local mob boss who was named Sam Silver Dollar Corolla. That's pretty cool.
Sam Silver Dollar. Welcome to the stage. Sam Silver Dollar Corolla. Like that's another fantastic drag name.
That's a cool name in general.
Silver Dollar.
What would my nickname be?
2 cents.
Damn. Okay.
You mean your drag name or your mob name? Because those are two totally different things.
Let's do mob name this time.
Okay.
Whopper with cheese.
No, it's got to be like your first name, your nickname, your last name. Like in Goodfellas, it was like Jimmy 2 times because he said everything 2 times. You know, so it's like your first name and your nickname together. So like
Caleb more.
No, it's gonna come to us. You can't. Your drag name tells you what it is. You don't.
I thought it was my mob name.
I'm sorry, your mob name.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm gonna think on it.
Think on it
while you tell me this story. Are you getting a cold sore?
It's been a stressful week.
We got some Valtrex.
Luckily, I got that Valtrex.
Don't touch it. You stay strapped.
Okay.
Valtrex, if you're listening, please sponsor.
Big Pharma. Do you have a word of the day?
I do. Thank you for reminding me.
No problem.
So it is now time for the segment of the show called Stop Embarrassing Yourself. You're pronouncing that wrong.
Okay.
And my word is lagniappe.
Oh, nice.
So lagniappe is spelled Lagniappe.
Okay.
It looks like lagniappe.
Lagniappe.
But lagniappe means a little something extra. So it could mean like a dessert or a treat on your pillow at the hotel.
Right.
Here it just means a little bit something extra that you get with anything.
Right.
So
like I think mom on her like tests and stuff when mom was teaching, still when she was still teaching, because now that heifer's retired.
That heifer's playing a lot of tennis and doing a lot of shopping.
She deserves it after 37 years.
Right.
But I think that's how she labeled her bonus question. Her lagniappe.
Her lagniappe questions.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you are in Louisiana and let's say you're ordering some nachos and you're like, I want a little extra cheese. You say, I want a little lagniappe.
Yeah.
And they'll know what you're talking about.
Smothered, chunked.
Smothered, covered, and chunked. That's at Waffle House.
I'm salivating even more now.
Caleb, get it together,
so hungry,
bro.
Man. Oh my God.
If you're listening to these out of order, Caleb's been spitting this entire episode like projectile, and it's honestly concerning.
Well, I've had like 4 of these. Yeah, I'm hydrated, man.
It's a really cumbersome.
And it doesn't fit in a cup holder. I don't know why I brought that and not my normal Xanax tumbler.
Yeah. I mean, it's cute, but it's not practical. Not like this.
Looks like something you should be drinking like sweet tea out of. Yeah, Topo Chico is more practical. Topo Chico, if you're listening.
But yeah, the word of the day is lanyap.
Okay, anyway, where was I? Corolla. So when Marcello was 26 is when he started like working for Silver Dollar. Shortly after, he gets married and starts focusing on a local pinball company. Slot
Like,
machines,
that's genius.
right?
I sell pinball machines for the kids.
Exactly. The gabagool.
What is gabagool?
Nothing. It was made up in the episode of The Office where Michael thinks he's being shaken
Well,
down by the mob.
it wasn't made up on The Office.
I don't
Gabagool
think
is
gabagool is a thing because Michael was like, I'll have the gabagool. And they were like, what?
no, it's from something like it is a. I'm gonna hold on, look it up. What exactly is gabagool?
Are you sure?
Gabagool. Oh, it means like Tony. It's from The Sopranos,
Okay.
and he's trying to say a southern meat, like a meat.
Caleb Gabagool Morse.
That's it.
That's it.
Caleb
Boom.
Gabagool.
I love that.
So, and he's trying to say something else, but he just calls it as a gabagool. Like it's just a made up word, but he's trying to say for meat.
Nice.
Like when Italians at the beginning, they get the cheeses and the meats and the,
Yeah.
Man,
now I want a charcuterie board. I'm going to start spinning again.
A charcut.
I love a good cooter board.
Me too.
So, pinball company. Because most every bar at this time in New Orleans had those machines.
Still do.
Oh, 100%. Well, if they used a competitor, these bars, they would find themselves like in a heap of trouble with the mob. Well, in New York, we're jumping over there for a second. Mayor LaGuardia was starting to crack down on these machines. So the mob in New York City needed a new market to operate. So this led New York mob boss Frank Costello to Carlos Marcello and I've heard of like Frank Costello.
Did they become besties and hold hands? Or are they enemies?
No, they're not enemies.
Okay, good.
Like they work together.
Good.
The money was great, but it was not good enough for Marcello. So he continued his drug trade. Because remember, he still got the bar for selling his bud, his weed.
See, that was the one thing in Godfather that he wouldn't do. He said, I'm not doing the drugs. He's like, I'll do everything else, but I'm not selling drugs. And then that's what it all south. If you've never seen the movie, what are you doing?
Right.
But
Gotta do the drugs.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
No, I meant watch the movie. If you've never seen the movie, watch the movie.
You said that's when it went downhill.
Oh, well, yeah.
Like, gotta do them. I'm just kidding. Don't do drugs. Just say no. Stay in school. In 1938, he was arrested for selling 23 pounds of marijuana to an undercover police officer.
That's a lot.
So like,
that's as big as that couch.
I was about to say, so was he like, okay, just back up the old Etzel, pop your trunk, and I'll throw literally 23 pounds of weed into your trunk. And like for decades, that was the biggest drug bust in New Orleans history.
Oh,
like not 23 pounds.
I'm not familiar with.
Make an elephant high.
Yeah.
Like that's. Anywho,
23 pounds.
That's a lot.
Whoever that undercover cop was good.
Oh yeah, he was like, man, I'm retiring. I'm good.
Yeah.
Well, in May of 1947, New Orleans mob boss calls a meeting of the New Orleans Mafia to elect Marcello as the new boss because Corolla was starting to realize that he was probably about to get deported back to Sicily.
So they were making plans to make sure they had the right people in place.
Correct.
I love that visual. It's in almost every mob movie where they call in the heads of each family.
Yes, and they're all like in a smoky
They're at a long rectangular table and they're all talking like this. And I don't mean this offensively to anybody. It's just how they're portrayed.
Right.
And they introduce all of them and they all have like this funny quirk. Like one's got a weird eye and one wears a bow tie and one whatever. I love those scenes in those movies.
And they were really careful about never being photographed. Like Marcello, up to this point, even still, has not been like caught on film with other mob families. He was very careful about it.
Because they never wanted to, the police or anybody to
To
be
have,
able
like,
to
boom,
prove that they
you're
were
friends
in
with.
cahoots.
Exactly. So, like, at that meeting, they're at the time at across the river, I think, like, on the West Bank or something, at a colored bar.
Which is,
Segregation
I
of
hate
race.
that, but from their standpoint, it's like nobody would ever suspect us being here.
Right.
Which is why they went there.
In my opinion, they probably tipped really well.
And the music was way better, I can tell you that for a fact, and the food.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, for sure. Well, during his reign as mob boss, he ruled with like an iron fist. Like nothing got away with him.
I ask this every time. Was he good looking?
Actually, he was known for being like pretty good looking. And everyone made fun of, which I can relate to this, his head size.
Because your head looks like a thumb.
It's huge. Like his was too. But like I am also very good looking with a very large head. But they said whatever. They said he was like really, really short and stocky.
Okay.
So they were like, he had this little body and it was just like, boom, like a boulder of a head sitting on top of it.
Like a Lego person.
Basically, yes, literally, like a Lego. So
Caleb Lego Morse. That's another option for you.
Honestly?
Besides Gabagool.
Caleb Lego, my ego Morse.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he was very like iron fist. Nothing got away. Nothing got done unless he said to do it. Well, he had a mansion on the West Bank near a bayou.
So he did his business, I'm assuming, in New Orleans proper.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm sure there was a reason for having his home
on the West Bank. Correct. It was said that if you crossed him, one of his henchmen would club you over the head. Then they'd kill you. He would do it.
Oh.
They would put you in a tub of lye and then dump your liquefied, decomposed body into the bayou behind his house and just watch it float away.
That's attention to detail that's lacking nowadays.
See?
Yeah.
Like.
But he had henchmen.
That's true.
I wonder that all the time. This is just how my brain works. Driving across the causeway or driving on the spillway, I'm looking out into the water. I'm like, I wonder how many bodies are out there.
Yeah. Remember when they dredged the river behind our house and found those like bodies, like those remains? I think I was like 12 and I was like, ooh, like I swim in that river.
I wonder how many people are in there.
Dude. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The craziness. Well, this, like him being able to liquefy the body and just float it away, that made it almost impossible for him to get convicted of that crime because there was no corpus licta.
No body, no crime.
Arrest. Well, no arrest.
Yeah.
And I literally put no body, arrest.
Which, for those of you that are wondering why we keep saying that, that's from the movie Bernie.
Which is one of our all-time favorite movies.
That's literally our sibling origin story as adults is the movie Bernie.
And the Wild and Wonderful Whites of West Virginia.
Boom. Which neither are Louisiana history because we could do 4-part episodes.
Bernie technically is.
He went to McNeese.
He went to McNeese.
Uh-oh.
Bernie might be an episode.
Ooh. That might be a live episode.
That would be good.
Mm-hmm. We'll talk about it.
Okay.
I just got so excited.
Some of the people from the movie from Carthage.
Jack Black, if you're listening.
Man.
Michael knows this. I would leave my husband for Jack Black. Yes. He's a national treasure. Name one thing he's done that's not been top tier excellent. You can't do it.
It is.
And how fun is he?
He is.
Like,
he
what? Insult Jack Black, drag Jack Black publicly.
No.
See, you can't even do it. That's why.
I guess, whatever. Money can't buy happiness. So I'll endorse it.
Michael would help me pack.
Me and Michael would have so much fun. We'd be like, bye. Just Venmo us every now and then.
We're going to play pool. Bye.
Literally.
Yeah.
Well, any hooser.
Mm-hmm.
In March of 1949, he had his first run-in with Robert Kennedy, who was trying to rid the nation of organized crime.
He sure was. And a lot of people think that's why a lot of people think the Mafia killed JFK.
We're getting into it.
Oh, okay.
In the 1950s, 2 congressional hearings failed to bring down the mob boss, Marcello.
Marcello.
In 1961, JFK installed his younger brother, Robert Kennedy, as
Mhm.
Attorney General. Once Robert was in that position, he sets his sights on Marcello, like hardcore on Marcello himself. But his lawyers made it almost impossible to have it deported because I didn't write this down, but I remember this in the documentary. There's almost, I don't know if this is still true, but at this time there was almost no limit to how many times you could dispute a deportation charge. Like you could
Mhm.
just, it could just stay in legalese forever
Like,
and
you
ever.
could just keep prolonging it to where you
Yeah,
actually didn't have to leave.
correct.
Okay.
So Marcello, because of that, would have to visit the Office of Immigration very often to keep his like resident alien status.
It's literally The Godfather. Like,
Do you think The Godfather was based on this?
no, because
No,
The
because The
Godfather was based
Godfather's,
on a book.
and it's not in New Orleans, I guess, anyway.
But
But,
he didn't get deported. They sent him to Italy for safety because it was
oh,
too hot in the States.
oh no, this is
They were blowing
nothing.
up his spot. But that's wild. And RFK too, and I might be jumping ahead, so let me know. A lot of the mafia felt that they helped the Kennedys get elected. And then that's what I've read. Like, because remember I took that, and you took this class too, the JFK assassination
No,
class.
I couldn't get in it.
So I took an entire
I
class.
wanted to take that so bad because who was the professor?
Doctor, oh
Um,
gosh, he's passed away
but
since.
he was so cool.
This man at Southeastern, we both graduated from Southeastern. We both have minors in history. There was an entire class for a whole semester every year on just the JFK
Yeah,
assassination.
and it was offered on
Opposite semesters.
yes.
Because
So
yes.
I remember I could take it, but I would prolong my graduation by a semester, and I was like, I need to get out of here and start paying these loans back.
The final for that, but I learned that in that class was
Yeah,
that
it's gonna
that
kill me that we can't remember that man's name.
I'm gonna figure it out. But and because he was older when I took it, like he'd been
Yeah.
teaching it for
Oh
years.
yeah.
But that was one of the theories was that that's why some people think it was the mafia is because the mafia helped him get elected. And
So when you start cracking down on the mafia,
yeah,
it's like, come on, bro.
did I ever tell you what the final was like in that class?
No.
The final, all he told you was bring a whole bunch of loose leaf paper and a pencil. That's all he told you.
Okay.
So we're like, "Ugh." We walk in and he says, oh, he wrote on the whiteboard, how do you think JFK died? Question mark. And then explain your answer. And he said, if you think it was aliens and you can sufficiently explain your answer, you get an A.
If you can make me second guess that,
Mm-hmm. So, and that's what I
that's
actually
cool.
thought. I wrote that my theory that I agreed with was that it was the mafia.
Right. That's a good theory.
That was the most interesting class. And the way that he taught too, he came in with no notes, which a lot of history professors are like this.
He was famous for just walking up, sitting on top of his
with a
desk
coffee
and
cup.
just being like, okay, where were we last week?
Yep. And he
Yeah.
just off the dome, boom, boom,
Just
boom,
knew
boom, boom.
everything.
2 days a week for 2 hours.
Oh, I would have never skipped that class.
While you're looking that, I'm going to look up his name right now while you.
Continue.
Yep.
Okay. So 1961, JFK installs younger brother Robert Kennedy as Attorney General and blah, blah, blah. So
Dr. Kurtz.
thank you. Anywho,
History 496, the Kennedy assassination.
that's so cool.
Some say this class is an unforgettable experience and it requires hard work, but it is worth it.
It is. Because I thought about delaying my graduation to take that. And
I remember
I'm
you
like,
calling me and being so upset you couldn't take it.
because I was like, what? Like, what am I going to do now?
Yeah.
Well,
sorry.
No, you're good. So Marcello is having to go to the immigration office. In my guess, they just said often, probably like once a month, just to keep his
He's like, I dispute,
alien,
I get 3 more weeks.
right, his
Yeah.
illegal resident alien status or whatever. So in April of 1961, Robert Kennedy planted federal agents in the building and basically kidnapped Marcello.
Marcello.
They put Marcello on a plane and dropped him in the jungle in Guatemala. And they
Why?
did that as kind of like a poke to him because in one of his forged birth certificates, he put that he was from Guatemala.
Like when
That sucks.
our grandpa came out of the army and he told somebody that he was a penguin trainer
Yes.
at the office of the employment office. That's like a famous family lore story, which I don't
Man.
entirely believe, but
I do. Paul Rich?
yeah.
Yeah, I believe that.
Are you tired of searching for a spray tan that's safe for sensitive skin? Are you sick of spray tans that leave you looking like a Cheeto and feeling sticky like a fly trap? No one likes a Cheeto fly trap. Search no more because you found Afterglow Spray Studio. Their professional tanning formulas will illuminate and enhance your features with a completely customizable natural glow while boosting your confidence and nourishing your skin. That sounds nice. That's why they exclusively use Dolce Glow Professional Solutions. Nothing else compares. Dolce Glow Professional Solutions are dermatologist tested solutions suitable for all skin types and packed with skin loving ingredients and antioxidants to ensure that you are glowing, healthy, and hydrated. What makes Afterglow unique? Well, owner and spray tan artist Danielle was trained and certified by LA's most in demand celebrity spray tan artist and Dolce Glow founder, Isabel Alicia. I apologize if I mispronounced that, Isabel. Isabel's list of celebrity clientele includes Kim Kardashian, we know her, Miley Cyrus, heard of her, Jennifer Lopez, and Katy Perry. Afterglow Spray Studio has locations in Mandeville and Harahan, Louisiana. They also offer mobile services and will bring their magical tanning juice direct to you. Call 985-502-6832 or visit afterglowspraystudio.glossgenius.com to book your custom spray tan with Danielle at Afterglow today. You can also follow them on Instagram for $10 off your first spray tan. That's a really good deal. Afterglow Spray Studio. Get some color on that white behind and tell them that Katie from the Big Bad Boot sent you. So, I mean, I feel bad, but they're like, oh, you said you were from Guatemala, so we brought you here.
Exactly. Boo-hoo.
Here's an anaconda.
Yeah.
I would just kill myself.
Honestly,
Mm-hmm.
after 3 days of wandering around the jungle,
No.
he found civilization, called his family for help, and snuck back into the United States 2 months later.
I'm going to go on record and say, good.
Like,
Good for him.
Honestly,
Work.
In 1962, Marcello let it slip to a local business owner, Ed Becker, that he had murder on his mind. He reportedly said, we're going to take care of this problem in Dallas. If you cut off the head, the tail dies.
First of all, Ed Becker, keep your mouth shut.
That's my thing because they have him on camera. He was like, and then I told him, like, hey, booga booga, like, was so like, like, Carlos, you can't do that. Like, that's federal charges. You're going to try to kill the president? And I was like, Ed Becker, bro.
Shush.
Shut up. Like, dude.
That you go to your grave with that, bro.
Literally. Because, like, man. Oof. That's so scary. Anyway.
But it's so
interesting.
Cryptic and mafia-like in the language.
Right.
Like, we're going to take care of this problem in insert undisclosed location.
Right. And then a cute little metaphor.
Right. Up, down the middle, solve the riddle or whatever. Like Dad always says about tennis.
Good job.
Yeah. Just some obscure, like, Gandalf-like saying.
Right.
Wow.
So Lee Harvey Oswald was in New Orleans around the time before the assassination and had multiple family ties to Marcello's organization. For example, he had an uncle who was a bookmaker in the Marcello organization.
Is a bookmaker like a bookie?
That's what I thought.
I think that's what that means. I don't think it meant he's stitching textbooks
he's not making
together.
Books, which I'm going to feel so stupid if
somebody emails us and they're like,
actually,
it is a textbook maker. It's like, well,
Well,
sorry.
crap.
Say that then.
Say it with your chest. When Oswald was arrested for disturbing the peace in New Orleans, he was sprung from jail by Marcello's crew.
Okay.
On not November. On November 22nd, 1963, Marcello had just won his deportation trial. President John F.
I was gonna
Kennedy
say,
was also assassinated almost down to the moment of that trial. So
it's the
same
day.
day, almost the same time. So Marcello like gets out of this trial, wins his deportation, and then finds out that the president who's like cracking down on him is gone.
Hmm.
So it's a great day for Marcello.
Which is also a great alibi and cover, because it's like, I was in court.
Right. I was literally in court.
It's the Godfather. Because he was at the son's christening while he was ordering some other guy to get killed. Sorry, this is not a Godfather podcast.
But it's pretty. That's wild. That's insane. Well, anywho, so
I really wish you could have taken that class.
me too. So JFK being assassinated, that like greatly reduced like the heat on Marcello's businesses.
They were worried about other stuff at that point.
Right. It's reported that in the mid 1960s, Marcello's legal and illegal businesses made over $2 billion, making it the most profitable business in Louisiana at the time.
Cool.
That, honestly, if you're stimulating the economy.
But if it's with drugs and stuff,
if it's just slot machines, I'm okay with it. But, you know, you're right.
Yeah.
What's funny is we're going to church after this.
It's with the vices, and that's what there's issues with. He's not, building grocery stores.
No, he's not building Schwegmans.
No.
Or anything. Well, in 1979, the committee to investigate the assassinations of the 60s ran out of time to press charges on Marcello, and he was essentially like cleared of the crime. Because I guess, what is that
Statute
called?
of limitations.
Thank you. Like that means you have like a certain amount of time to like
and every
piss or
crime
get off the pot.
Every crime has a certain
statute
time limit.
Sure. Sorry, there's a bug. Shortly after this, the feds started using surveillance to gather dirt on Marcello. The feds captured over 35,000 conversations.
I would love to have that job.
Same. Just
sit just like we are now with headphones on.
Just listening.
And just listening to what these mob bosses are saying.
Right? Like, that's so cool. He was caught bribing local authorities and participating in phony insurance contracts. Which, I'm like, 35,000 conversations. I'm surprised, like, that's what we're mainly focusing on. I'm sure they heard a lot more, but I don't know. On August 4th, 1981, Marcello was found guilty of 1 count of conspiracy.
Oh, I was going to say it was tax fraud or something random. Like they got, what's his name? The other famous mob boss. They got him on tax fraud.
I don't know.
It'll come to me. Sorry.
But like, all this stuff this man did, and it's 1 count of conspiracy.
It's probably a lot of levels. It's 1, he was probably really good at what he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
So he's really good at covering his tracks. 2, you don't know who he's paying off.
Right. And he had a lot of businesses to launder this money. Like he still owned that bar where he got caught selling the 23 pounds of marijuana.
Yeah.
But he also owned a very successful tomato canning company.
Oh, cool.
So like and what was bad in the documentary, New Orleans, like authorities were very nonchalant about it. Like when the FBI, when Robert Kennedy was still coming down to New Orleans saying like, investigate him harder. What is he doing? They were always like, he's just a really good tomato canner.
And probably his tomato canning factory employs probably thousands of people.
Probably.
But that's the thing that they learn to diversify.
What pockets you grease in.
Right.
Literally.
And that's the whole name of the game.
Oh, yeah. And 4 months later, a jury in California found Marcello guilty of 4 counts of bribing a judge.
Cool. Which they do that in Louisiana a whole lot.
Oh, yeah. So he was bribing that judge from a time before when he was trying to help a friend get a lesser sentence. So it wasn't even bribing a judge to get him out of his own
sentence.
It was for one of his friends, which kind of makes me like him. Is that bad?
No, because I mean, I love all of these people and all these stories and
Right. I'm like,
movies.
that's so cool.
Yeah.
Like, well, he was arrested in 1983, where he
Oh,
suffered.
he's old.
Oh yeah, he's old. He suffered like a number of strokes and had Alzheimer's. This caused his whole mob empire in New Orleans to absolutely crumble.
Yeah.
He was released after 6 years and passed away in Metairie, Louisiana on March 3rd, my
Oh,
birthday, in 1993 at the age of 83.
I would have loved to have just sat there and talked to him.
Right? And like there were like his defense attorney went and visited him after he got out of jail because they became like friends. And he was like, you could tell like the lights were on, but no one was home.
Oh,
And what was crazy was people have said like when they would go visit him after too, he would keep making comments like, well, we're going to take care of it in Dallas. And then like 30 minutes later being like, I don't know anything about that. Like, what are you talking about?
because their brains can
Or
only go through so much information at
exactly.
once. Because like our grandparents suffered from Alzheimer's,
And dementia.
it was crazy to talk to them at any given time because you never knew if their brain was going to be in 1950 or today.
Oh, yeah.
Like there were many times when Papa Melvin thought I was mom.
There were a lot of times he always called me either dad or
Christopher, because he thought you were a younger version.
Yep.
So it's like you never know where people's brains are going to be. I would have
Right.
loved to have talked to him.
Me too.
Yeah.
Like, ugh, that's so cool. Well, that was my shorty but goodie.
That was good. Did he have any kids?
He did. He did. And like, I'm pretty sure his mansion on the West Bank is still there.
Okay.
Like, I'm obviously other people live in it now, but like, I think it's still there.
It was probably really pretty.
Oh, it was. It's like a white stucco building and has like the like tile, the like bright tile roof and stuff.
Yeah.
It looked cool.
Why couldn't we have been born into a family?
Yeah, like I
that?
would love to have been a Nepo baby.
We would be so good at it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I wanted to retire, honestly,
Your
when
whole
I was
life?
18.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Like as soon as I started working, I was like, this is for the birds.
Yep.
Like I didn't
I'm a
ask to be
chump.
born. Like now I gotta pay bills and all that. Like it's ridiculous. Did you see where that kid, I think it was in California, sued his parents
For being born?
for being born
Yep.
and he won?
That's cool.
Like, that's crazy.
He's like, I got all these bills. I got all these
Literally.
medical appointments I got to go to. I didn't ask for this.
Tired.
I was tired.
Like,
I can't afford a house.
no.
Groceries are expensive.
Dude.
And now the ports are closed because the people are striking at the ports. Everybody go buy bananas.
Everything's expensive.
We're going to run out of bananas.
I can't even afford to think about buying a house.
We're all just going to have to go in and buy one giant house and just all live there.
And just have like separate wings.
Mm-hmm. We say wings, rooms. We don't have wings money. Unless something drastic happens and this podcast takes off.
Listeners, pray
The Marcello
about it.
family, if you're listening.
We love you.
Wouldn't that be wild if we got just some random anonymous
email? Oh my
email?
gosh, that was my grandpa. I'd be like, please let me take you for coffee or something.
Would we
Like,
get
let's
this
talk about
letter in the mail where they're like, here's a check for $1 million from an angel investor, and it's just signed M. I'm writing our own
fan fiction.
I'm writing our own fan fiction.
Oh my gosh. I'm into it.
Right? It's
Wow.
fun. Great job, buddy.
Thanks.
That was good.
Oh, I was nervous it was going to be super short just because I flew through researching it because it was so interesting.
What's the name of the documentary you kept talking about?
It was an episode of like a chain of documentaries, and it was just called Mobsters.
Okay.
And
what was it on? Do you remember like what streaming service?
I found it on YouTube.
Okay.
And that episode was about the New Orleans mob, and it was strictly about Marcello.
I bet their food was especially really good.
Oh.
Because it was not only like Italian,
like
Sicilian food, it was Louisiana.
Yes.
Sicilian food.
Yes. Because I will say, I love Italian food, but that was one of my biggest, I don't want to say disappointments, but one of my biggest shocks when I went to Italy this year was like their food's delicious.
Mm-hmm.
They don't season anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like
It's all fresh ingredients.
Fresh and natural, which is so good. But like, I was like,
can I get some Tonys?
Like, you got Tonys in your purse? Or, but it was really good. Just not like we're used to you taking a bite and it's like, paya. Like,
we sweat a little bit every bite.
Oh, yeah. If you're not sweating and like nose running
or
it's not
spitting everywhere.
Well, look, I'll pray about it.
Yeah, go figure it out. But thanks for listening, guys.
Yeah.
It's been fun. And remember, God made you.
And the Rugaru too.
So be kind to one another.
Bye.
Bye.
The Big Bad Boot is produced by Lettuce Media and edited by Mallory and Jonah.
Our music was produced by Macro Tracks. Our super cool logo was designed by AWC Graphics. And our sense of humor and childhood trauma was sponsored by Kelly and Abby Morse.